Welcome to our channel, where we always update the hottest and most attractive developments, especially the dramatic scenes that cannot be taken away from beyond the gates. In today's article, we will explore one of the most shocking mysteries at present, revolving around Eva, Leslie, Jacob, and the complicated clues that are gradually being revealed and unprecedented surprises. Eva, without knowing it, becomes an important link in a series of mysterious and painful events when she secretly takes the helmet and boots. Vivid evidence related to the terrible accident caused by her mother, Leslie, when she crashed into Laura. Instead of following the right path and handing over to the police the evidence that could help clarify the case, Eva keeps those items for herself, unintentionally helping to conceal her guilt, causing justice to be blocked right from the beginning of the investigation. Things get more complicated when Jacob, a dedicated and determined policeman, shows up with a search warrant for Leslie's house. It's a pivotal moment, when everyone is waiting for new clues to reveal the truth. However, what Jacob doesn't expect is that important evidence has disappeared. The helmet and boots, the evidence that could connect Leslie to the accident and make her unable to escape responsibility, are no longer in the house. It is this disappearance that makes the investigation deadlocked. Leslie seems to have escaped spectacularly, raising suspicions about the complicity or forgery of someone in her life. All eyes begin to turn to Eva, the young daughter who seems to be just a victim of family tragedies but carries a deeper secret than anyone could imagine. Eva's concealment of the evidence was not just a thoughtless act of youthful impetuosity, but seemed to contain a tense inner conflict. A struggle between loyalty to her mother and a sense of justice. Eva, day by day, was increasingly immersed in the fear of being discovered, in the darkness of the secrets that were gradually revealed. She was not simply the physical key holder of the case, but also the one who held the power to decide Leslie's fate. Every time she looked at the blood-stained helmet and the stains on her boots, Eva clearly felt the weight of an unsolvable mistake, making her even more lost in a world full of doubt and bitterness. Jacob was not someone who gave up easily. He knew that there was something unusual about the disappearance of the evidence. Jacob had long suspected that Leslie was not only the one who caused the accident, but also had sophisticated plots to conceal the truth. The search warrant is just the first step in a larger investigation plan, and he is gradually building a web of evidence based on other clues. However, the loss of the evidence makes the job even more difficult, forcing him to change tactics, looking for more witnesses and circumstantial evidence to convict Leslie. The relationship between Eva and Leslie also begins to fall into an unprecedented state of tension. Leslie, with his mind increasingly confused and afraid of the pursuit of the law, begins to show unpredictable expressions, sometimes angry, sometimes remorseful, even making gentle threatening gestures towards Eva as if to make her keep quiet. Meanwhile, Eva not only bears the burden of a guilty conscience but is also caught between maternal love and the need to protect the truth. She realizes that if she continues to keep the evidence secret, she is not only hiding her mother's sins, but also putting herself in a dangerous spiral, possibly becoming an accomplice. In a dramatic turn of events, Eva begins to contact those close to Laura, the victim of the accident, to gain a better understanding of what happened, as well as her mother's true character. Through this, she discovers that Leslie is not only a scheming mother but also a person with a complicated past, many secrets that have not been exposed. Memories of Leslie's painful past are gradually revealed, showing that she may have been under pressure and deep mental trauma, making the act of hitting the car more than just an accident. The deeper Eva digs, the more she realizes that there may be other hidden forces manipulating, using Leslie as a pawn in a bloody game of power and revenge. Someone may have played a trick on Leslie to become the one in the middle of the spiral of guilt, and the disappearance of the evidence is part of that sophisticated plan. This raises suspicions about the involvement of other figures in the family and society, from acquaintances to potential enemies, all of whom may exploit this event to serve their own purposes. Meanwhile, Jacob also made constant efforts. He used all resources, from surveillance technology to intelligence networks, to track down the evidence. A fierce search began, where every little detail could become an important clue. At the same time, Jacob also had to face pressure from his superiors and the intervention of underground forces that wanted to obscure the case, forcing him to fight not only on the legal front but also on the political and social arena. The story of Eva and Leslie was no longer a normal accident case but turned into a family tragedy full of dark aspects that could not be seen with the naked eye. Eva stood at a crossroads of life and death, between the choice of protecting her loved ones or embarking on the path of seeking justice, between keeping secrets or facing the truth. To free herself and those involved from the spiral of sin that was deepening. The disappearance of the evidence is not just a small detail in the case, but the key to opening a series of difficult questions and unexpected details. Will Eva have enough courage to admit her mistake and cooperate with the police? Will Jacob find new evidence that is strong enough to break the mysterious veil? And is Leslie really the only culprit, or are there dark conspiracies behind the accident that no one has dared to face? Only time will answer these questions, but one thing is certain: this tragedy is still going on. And the people involved must face their own challenges of truth, conscience and justice in a world full of darkness and doubt. The story is not just about an accident, but about emotional wounds, pieces of life intertwined with love, betrayal and the desire to start over. In the following days, the atmosphere in Leslie's family became more stifling than ever. Each member carried an invisible burden, but no one dared to say anything about the real hidden things behind the accident. Leslie, with a cold face and eyes shining with determination, began to show a different side, no longer the gentle mother that Eva knew, but a calculating person who was willing to use any means to protect herself and her family. Eva clearly felt that change. She knew that her mother was hiding something bigger than the initial explanations. The times her mother called her into a private room, the secret conversations with mysterious characters that Eva had never met, all made her feel like she was caught in a chaotic vortex from which she could not escape. Outside, the police's suspicious gazes and pressure were growing heavier, while inside, Eva was increasingly distant from Leslie, feeling both love and anger, wanting to find out the truth and protecting the mother she loved. In another corner of the city, Jacob was still diligently following every move, every step of Leslie and those involved. He knew that the disappearance of the evidence was not an accident or negligence, but a sign of careful planning, prepared in advance. Jacob began to expand the scope of the investigation, approaching people close to Leslie, who might hold important clues but had never been revealed. Jacob also discovered that, in addition to Leslie and Eva, there was another character secretly influencing the situation of the case. That person was an old close friend of Leslie, who had deep conflicts with Laura, the victim of the accident. Their relationship is so complicated that even the police are wary. This friend may be the source of a more sophisticated plot, to hide the truth or even put Leslie in a passive position. Meanwhile, Eva begins her own journey to clear things up. She secretly searches for security videos around the accident site, asks witnesses who may have seen the incident, and even tries to access Leslie's phone and computer to find out hidden information. Every step Eva takes is a challenge to herself, both as a fight to face the truth and as a journey to escape the darkness that covers her family. The deeper Eva goes, the more she realizes that what she knows about her mother and the accident is just the tip of the iceberg. There are long-buried secrets, broken relationships, hidden betrayals and conspiracies that, if exposed, would shake not only her family but the society around them. Each person involved seems to carry a burden, an untold story. And Eva is faced with deciding who she can trust and who is the enemy in the shadows. During sleepless nights, Eva often thinks about Laura, who unfortunately died in the accident. She wonders if the truth has been hidden for so long that no one has the strength to bring it to the surface. Can she be the one to break this cycle of sin, bringing justice to Laura and her own family? Those questions increasingly urge Eva to act, but at the same time, she is more afraid of the unforeseen consequences. Jacob, with all his experience and police instincts, realizes that the case is not simply a traffic accident but is turned into a tense battle of wits. He prepares himself to face unexpected situations, hidden truths, and people who are willing to do anything to protect their secrets. It is a battle not only between right and wrong but also between light and darkness in the human soul. Outside of all the events, public opinion began to stir. Rumors, gossip about the accident and suspicions about hiding evidence caused the whole city to stir. The press and media began to report, putting more pressure on those involved, pushing them into a difficult situation and adding drama to the story. Eva is no longer the carefree girl she used to be, but has become the center of a tumultuous story. She must learn to be strong, face all challenges, and most importantly, find the truth to free herself and her family from the ghosts of the past. Every step she takes is an important piece in the complex picture of the case, where truth and lies intertwine, where love and betrayal coexist in a thin line. The story of Eva, Leslie, and Jacob has not ended. It continues, like a novel full of unsolved mysteries, promising many more surprises, many twists and turns, and climaxes that viewers cannot take their eyes off. Each character carries their own secrets, desires, and pains, together creating a colorful, rich picture of people and life in the harshest circumstances. And perhaps, only when the light of truth is fully illuminated, when the masks are removed, can all the pieces fit together, so that people can realize that in this tragedy, there are not only the perpetrators or victims, but also people struggling to find themselves amidst the brokenness and doubt. Let's wait for the next developments of this mysterious story, when Eva will have to face the choice that will decide her own future. When Jacob will find the last clue to expose the whole conspiracy. And when Leslie will be able to continue to keep the secret or will have to face the severe punishment of the law. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on sharp analysis articles, bold predictions, and the most attractive details from beyond the gates. Thank you for accompanying us. See you again in the next articles, where all the secrets will gradually be revealed and all the stories will become more vivid than ever.